Moin aus den USA. Ich bin heute für euch in Illinois unterwegs und zwar besuche ich einen Landwirt, der schon seit Generationen Direktsaat auf seinem landwirtschaftlichen Betrieb betreibt. Vielleicht habt ihr es in meinen Videos vorher schon mal rausgehört. Ich bin großer Fan von Direktsaatverfahren, weil diese eben das Ökosystem Boden so gut wie möglich erhalten und vor allem auch die Mikroorganismen und Regenwürmer, die darin enthalten sind. Und das macht den Boden unglaublich fruchtbar und die Landwirte sind in der Lage, sehr hohe Erträge hier zu ernten. Allerdings brauchen wir dazu im minimalsten Stil auch chemische Pflanzenschutzmittel. Und ich werde gleich den Landwirt hier mal fragen, wie er das Ganze umsetzt und was für Erfahrungen er auch schon hat, damit wir solche Systeme vielleicht zukünftig auch in Deutschland anwenden können. Ich würde sagen, ich nehme euch wie immer mit und bis gleich. Hello.
Hello.
Nice to meet you. I'm Marie. Hi.
Nice to meet you. I'm Brad.
Yeah, just introduce yourself into the camera so the people know who you are.
My name's Brad Temple. I live in northern Illinois. Family farmer here. Farmed for the last over 40 years.
Oh wow! And you're doing no-till vertical tillage. So explain a bit. How is your experience with this?
So far, we've used vertical till machine for 2 years. Really like the results that we see of keeping the soil in place, the debris, the residue in place. Also maybe more uniform germination in our no-till soybeans in the spring. We like that. I've done no-till soybeans now in 15-inch rows for over 30 years. We've really liked the results from that. So every now and then you may have uneven emergence if it got on an old row of roots from the corn crop from the previous year. So this helps level it out and put more soil to seed contact from what we've seen so far.
So you just go into the soil for
just a couple inches.
Couple inches.
A couple of inches on the corn stalks. We'll just go in a couple of inches.
Yeah. So the organisms in the soil can work together still and
help break down the residue.
Yeah.
Because the stalks are tougher, and if we use fungicide on the corn stalks like we usually do, the stalks stay fairly green late into the year and very tough to break down. So if they get enough sunlight, snow and rain, they break down faster, but this helps speed up the process a little bit to make a better seed bed for the soybeans in the spring.
And now you are in an area where it's much windy on some days, like today.
Yes.
How does no-till or vertical tillage helps you to provide wind erosion, for example?
That's a big factor, especially in the no-till soybeans on corn stalks, that if the ground is totally worked conventionally, you see a lot of soil blowing away. And that's your biggest asset is the soil. We have a lot of dark, good soil with a high organic content here, and we want to keep it because that's what makes the Illinois farm ground so productive. So we want to maintain that. It also, with the corn stalks still out there and some of the roots still intact, it helps water erosion also. So we want to do the best we can for the environment and keep that there and not disturb it too much versus going through with a moldboard plow. And some of the old practices that we did maybe aren't as conducive to keeping the soil in place.
Do you have a shovel here so we can go in the fields and look at the dark soil and the organic matters? Yeah?
Yes, we do.
Cool. Okay, yeah, let's see what's in there. Oh yeah, it's super dark, so you can see how much organic content is in there, right?
That is part. You got earthworm.
Oh yeah.
Nature's drainage. Little baby worms starting in there, and there's a lot of farmers that have no-tilled longer than I have and do a much nicer job. But that is one of the true benefits, the earthworm activity that helps the soil drain.
Yeah, really.
So the more trips you make across, generally will pack the soil, compress the soil more, push the oxygen out, and your earthworm activity stops.
The most important workers here on the farm, right?
They work 24/7.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's good dark soil, good organic matter in it.
Do you notice this in your yields?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Then, I mean, most years dark soil will do very well anyway, but for 25 years or so, I've been using variable rate technology. So all the fertilizer, all the lime that we put on this, we don't put it where it won't benefit the crop. In my dad's day of farming, you just put a lot of fertilizer on to make the most corn. Now we want to put the fertilizer where it will best benefit the crop you're growing. So every 2.5 acres has a grid sample, and we can go back using GPS. The samplers go back to that same location every 4 years, test it, see if we've been successful in maintaining it. And what you want to do is make it as uniform and level across the entire field as you can. And that, I think we've been successful in that. There's always room for improvement because there's always new technology coming out to utilize. And I think that's one of the fun things in agriculture. There's a lot of new technologies coming through the corporations and through personal initiative and universities and associations that do a lot of research work to make us all better and more productive.
Yeah, it makes it more productive and more precise, right?
Yeah, you're just not throwing it out there. I think there's a lot of misconceptions that we're just throwing things out on the field. We're not. That doesn't make economic sense. It doesn't make environmental sense.
Right.
You want to combine the two, combine the economics of farming, the sustainability of farming, along with everything else. It can't just be, in my opinion, it just can't be one or the other. It needs to be a combination, because what is sustainable for you may not be sustainable for me where I live, and a broad stroke of the brush doesn't necessarily paint the best picture.
Yes.
So
yeah, it's exactly the point, right? That we are working sustainable and efficient. So, yeah.
Well,
right.
When I was in Europe this spring, I mean, sustainable is the word. We want sustainable ag, and sustainable for my family is doing the best job I can to raise a crop with the most production techniques I can that are economically feasible, but in the long run, at the end of the day, I have to make money.
Yeah.
I need to make enough money to pay the bills, to hopefully send my kids to college, maybe go on a vacation if we want. So that has to enter into the fact of sustainable, and some people that write the rules just like to say sustainable is this, cut and dried, even if the farmers or the livestock producers aren't making money. Then it's not sustainable for anyone. Yeah. We got a world to feed.
Right. So. Thank you for the interview. It was very interesting.
Thank you for stopping by on a cold, breezy, but sunny day.
Yeah.